Hi, my name is MaKasha Miller, and I am a student in the Organizational Leadership Program. I want to just discuss some of the experiences that I've had as a leader, as well as some of the things that I've taken away from the Organizational Leadership course. My career in leadership began in the financial services industry. I started out in banking where I worked my way up in the ranks, became a lead teller, did auditing, did sales, helped tellers get trained, and that is initially when I found my passion for leading. In the training position, I was able to teach other people that wasn't in the industry how to be proficient in financial services, how to be accurate, and how to develop a level of customer service that would be deemed superior. I spent time mapping out and a plan, taking those trainees step by step, walking them through and being a mentor to them after they had finished the initial training. That program developed individual tellers from a 3-month span being side by side mentoring and training with me, and then me mentoring them, just follow-ups and things like that on a 6-month term basis. So I was excited. I thrived, became one of the top trainers for my region, and that is when I knew that I could impact on the career level or the professional level, impact and lead individuals. I've also had experience in the community with being a leader. For the past 6 years, I've held a director position at a nonprofit organization where I am the director of music and fine arts, and there I teach youth and adults how to express themselves in dance, alongside of the choreography and teaching in a setting where we have to give physically and teach physical movement. I also teach about spiritual maturity, developing and portraying life skills, using life experiences, and showing how to express those things with your physical being. A part of being a director of that organization, I have to find materials to teach. I have to go to leadership training on how to effectively mentor and lead a nonprofit organization dance team. I have to develop different things and oversee different events such as fundraisers, community outreach events. I am responsible there for about 30 dance members, and it's comprised of any age group from starting at ages 6, and I have some that are in their late to mid 50s. So I have a wide variety of personalities that I have to manage, and so me being a leader in that, I did understand that how having a personal connection with a team member, it yielded a dedication to the team, and that's some of the skills that I've obtained as a leader in the community. Now, on the professional side, I am a licensed agent, insurance agent for the state of Texas. So, with that, I have adapted an independent role after transitioning from a corporate environment, working as a salesperson, a phone salesperson, working up my way in the ranks as a sales representative in the corporate. I attempted to seek a supervision role. There, I was told by human resources that I needed to obtain some coursework in order to be able to qualify for that role. So that's when I restarted my pursuit in academics. I did, based on my personal life, I chose to do an online institution. I am a mother, so I, at the time, had a newborn infant, and I needed to find a school that would accommodate my work-life balance. So I picked an online institution that was popular at the time. I had heard great things about the ease of doing the curriculum online and being able to get through the material at your own pace. So I was excited. I signed up for the program. I was able to achieve my associate's degree. And when I took that back to the corporate, they informed me that the school that I had chosen, they didn't deem it to be as creditable as some of the other institutions, and they could not honor those credits that I had obtained in order to be a supervisor at their organization. Of course, that was disappointing to me, so I sought another way to utilize that degree. I ended up transitioning into a local agency where I worked side by side with a new agent that was starting up her own agency, and I was able to help her establish that agency. We came on as an onboarding team, and we started from scratch. So that meant that we didn't have any clients. So we hit the pavement, we built up the agency, and during that time I was able to get firsthand experience on dealing with a new entrepreneur and some of the challenges that you face with starting your own business. I experienced financial difficulties, staffing difficulties, and I saw a lot of transitions in that. Needless to say, that relationship did not work as we anticipated, so I transitioned to work for a more tenured agent who had been in the insurance industry, for over 20 years, had built a great book of business. He was excited to partner with me and bring me onto his team so that I could utilize my licenses that I had and help him retain his business and continue to grow his business. And in that, I was able to see the back end of running an agency, how profitable it could be if it's ran properly and you have a good core team. So in that relationship, I got a lot of takeaways on the agency side, running an established agency. That developed some of those skills, how to manage an existing book of business, how to deal with customer service, how to deal with claims, how to handle billing issues and things like that. So that did, in my opinion, it taught me a lot of things in regards to a hands-on experience with leading and managing an agency. That relationship ended up being a dead end. There was not much room for improvement or promotion. So we parted ways in that relationship after a couple of years, and I began to seek another career path. In my quest for a new career path in the insurance field, it was very challenging because I was at a point in my career where I had all the credentials and all of the industry experience, let's say that. I had been in the business for, at the time, about 7+ years, and I had my associate's degree. So I'm like, okay, great. I have a 2-year degree. I have all these years of experience. Of course, I'm marketable as a insurance professional. So I put my resume out there, and unfortunately, I wasn't getting the feedback that I thought that I would with all the experience I had. I would send it off to a corporate company, and they say, well, you actually have the qualifications to own your own insurance agency. However, we need you to have a bachelor's degree. Or I'll get a corporate response for a independent position, which required a commissions based salary, and I could not tolerate with having a family to take care of having a commission based salary. So I was at a pretty much a career crossroads. That's when one of the Texas A&M Commerce alumni, I had an encounter with her, and she introduced me to the online program, and I said, oh wow, I said nobody would ever question if I achieved a degree from a Texas A&M college, and if it was, in fact, a quality education. So I researched the program, found out about the organizational leadership program down the line, and ended up transitioning into that program. I was excited because it did have all the core things that I knew I needed to be marketable in the leadership field. Now, once I started the organizational leadership program, I did have an opportunity to be a service career agent for a large life insurance company, and with that role, I did take on the position of managing a specific territory for that company. There, I was able to have the flexibility of setting my own schedule, which was perfect for me completing my coursework, and it was perfect for my, again, work-life balance, because I was able to participate with my kids' activities and manage everything else as well. So I took that position on. It taught me the importance of time management. It also gave me experience in balancing accounts, balancing the production reports, and being able to be accountable for my own agency. So there I was in a salaried position, but it gave me a safety net to learn the things on how to manage not only the clients, but the financial aspect of an agency. So I was responsible for making sure, all the collections were made. I was responsible for making sure the customers were retained. I was responsible for paying out claims myself. And this gained me a lot more industry experience. All the while, I'm taking my organizational leadership courses, and I'm utilizing and rather applying those skills to my day-to-day work. And it actually ended up being very productive, and it allotted me a lot of respect from my clients and a lot of respect from my regional manager. I was able to also assist the regional manager in coming up with a way to revamp the sales for the team. She did explain to me how I was inspiring her as a leader to take on a new outlook into managing the team. And she told me that I would be awesome as a leader in the industry. Now, of course, after hearing that I would be an awesome leader, I was enthusiastic. I knew that I had put all these things in place, that I could, have my degree and also be able to manage a team. So I felt like I was on the right track. Unfortunately, life happened, and the company that I was working for decided to do a downsize, and I was a part of a layoff because that office had closed. Therefore, I didn't become as tenured in that career path as I thought that I would be, because it had been a stable career from those who had preceded me. The regional had been with the company for over 30 years, so I felt like that was going to be a stable environment for me to grow in my leadership role. So the great thing was that I had already equipped myself in the program and set myself up, even in a delayed sense, to take the organizational leadership courses that would give me what I needed to pursue another career path. Some of the great things that I've taken away from the program was understanding the key qualities and characteristics of a leader. I always looked at leaders from an employee standpoint. I didn't evaluate what it takes to be an effective leader. And the organizational leadership leading change course offered me key tools on what it actually meant to be a leader in a organizational environment. This program also offers information and real life situations that will help leaders understand, what it takes to deal with the issues in the organization. There are multiple things that leaders have to take on, and this program has equipped me and gave me the necessary tools to handle those challenges. They've also taught how to use data in order to make an executive decision. Honestly, before the program, I was not a fan of data reports, and that comes from me working in a corporate sales call center environment, which was very data driven. Everything every day was down to numbers, and I felt at that time that took the personal interaction out of leading. I felt that at the time, data does not or cannot equate for real life situations, and that was a challenge for me. And at that time, once I took the course and saw the back end of how and why data is used to make decisions, I understood better why that corporation that I was working for use those to help manage the masses. That was a great way to even the scale and to compare results. I would say, though, using this data-driven decision-making class, it did also teach me that there is a point that we get to where we use too much data. So we want to make sure that whatever we're doing, it's effective and it makes sense to the bottom line. The other good takeaways from the organizational leadership program was behavior and ethics and leadership. I do pride myself already in ethics, so this was kind of a refreshing course for me. One of the key takeaways is understanding that the difference between a moral value and an ethical value, and being able to translate that to a team. So I do feel that it's important as leaders that we lead by example. And that was one of the key takeaways and refreshers that I got from this course. Now, one of the major highlights in this course for me was understanding leadership theories. Oftentimes, you're set with challenges in regards to leading a team. It could be production, it could be staffing, or what have you. And this course gave me an understanding of how to put in a process for change, come up with a plan, and identify the areas of concern, and to really map out a clear outline of what the real issues are in the organization. Once it's mapped out, I learned how to come up with solutions to tackle those challenges. Also learn how to prioritize those challenges, because we know that sometimes we can't take on everything. After which, we took a course in leading change, because once we know what those issues are, and once we have a plan to evoke a positive change, we must lead a team into executing those changes. So the leading change course offered clear ways to identify the core groups that will be affected by the change, how to introduce those changes and motivate those changes, and having a checks and balance system so that they would understand, the processes and the importance of plan implementation and the goals of the organization. In conclusion to the program, the capstone allows me to reflect on all those core things that I've learned, and how to be an effective leader, what changes that I can make to better myself and to become a more valuable asset to the organizations that I couple with. And I feel that the reflection is very important. Even knowing the resources, having access to the tools, because we don't always absorb everything, but having a cumulative area to be able to reflect and be able to recap on those skills is definitely valuable to me as a leader in the community, as well as hopefully a leader in the industry. Now, as of now, I have taken on a role as a agency owner for the state. I do have my own insurance agency, working independently as an agency owner. I'm currently doing that part-time. Hopefully, once I am done with this program, I can pursue that on a full-time basis. I'm also spending time as a substitute teacher, because my ultimate goal is to teach students in high school how to transition and discover their pathways to success. I would like and hope to do this as a career teacher and educator. So I will be seeking a position. There are multiple positions available in the district, both part-time and full-time. And I want, and my passion is to help people identify what their ability is, and help them develop a plan to execute those goals. So hopefully, and I know that with the degree that I'm obtaining with Texas A&M University Commerce in organizational leadership, it has equipped me to be able to market myself in that field. I would recommend that anyone takes these courses. I have explained to industry professionals the courses that I've taken, and they are I've received very positive feedback, and the course is definitely, in comparison to other online courses, it's very thorough, and you have the support that is needed for you to receive a valued education. So I do appreciate this experience, and I look forward to extending my academic career.